That man and his manga.
Today we're going to look at the difference between this and this. Join me and find out.
But before we get into all of that, if you're new to the channel and love all things manga and collecting, from figures to anime and light novels, do me a favour and subscribe and ring that bell so you don't miss out on new weekly videos.
Hello and welcome to That Man. This is a manga related thing. That's a lie, it's not. It's a light novel related thing. And today we are looking at the difference between English and Japanese light novels. Now, I did cover this briefly last year, but I thought, you know what, this deserves its own video. I want to kind of look at the differences between the English and Japanese and a few other languages for light novels and manga, and I thought, you know what, it's worth a try. Let's go and have a look at the differences between the English and Japanese light novels, at least where Konosuba is concerned. Now, first things first, I don't speak a lick of Japanese and I can't read it. This was bought as a sentimental gift to myself when I visited Japan a few years ago, and I'm not going to go into any translation or any localization differences because I can't read it, and let's face it, there's far more better people who are certainly better to do that on my behalf. So this version, the English version, has been released by Yen Press, whereas the Japanese version is released by Kadokawa. Now, the first difference you can probably imagine is the size. The size of the book in English is pretty much twice the size as the book in Japanese, which is quite interesting, I feel, because obviously we know that light novels are essentially light, and this is something I can definitely see being carried around in a pocket, or, you know, you can just kind of keep it on yourself, and it's something easy to carry around, whereas I never really felt that light novels were, the size-wise, were never quite right to carry around easily. I don't know, I felt that they were always a little bit more difficult to carry around. Also is the colours. I don't know what it is, something about the colours on the Japanese cover just looks so much nicer than the colours on the English one. The English one feels a little bit more, I don't know, faded, a little bit lighter, whereas the Japanese all feels a little bit darker. I don't know if that's just my personal copies, but it's just something I did notice, especially when you look at stuff like Aqua's hair and Kazuma's hair. Kazuma's just looks a little bit lighter in this version, whereas this one is a lot more darker. So, as well as you can see straight away on this cover, is that we have, well, we have a little wraparound on the Japanese version, because we get a dust cover. More on that in a few minutes. But yeah, each Japanese volume tends to come with a little wraparound, which, as you can see here, this looks like it advertises the manga, then goes into Konosuba, the Legend of Crimson movie that was, at the time, that was just about to come out. Then we also go into Natsumi Akatsuki's other title, which is Combatants Will Be Dispatched, and then something that looks like, I'm assuming this is Kurone Mishima's line stickers or something like that. It looks like something that you'd kind of, I don't know, because it says line, I'm assuming it's either another series by that artist, or it's something that's just like stickers or something that's they were just advertising. So that's something that you never really get in the English ones. It's a shame. I do like these, but of course they just get thrown away. In the English versions, you do tend to get, yes, the old familiar Yen Press, get your yen on light novel advertisements. Every single light novel nearly has these, and it's always the same titles. I have started to see some new ones where it's more Konosuba and ReZero related, but yeah, these tend to be in pretty much every single Yen Press light novel title. In fact, I think a lot of these are out of print. I've not seen Axel work another or Magical Index in a long time, and I know some of Spice and Wolf are pretty hard to find, at least the whole entire collection anyway. But yeah, I like how it is quite nice in the way they've kind of done things to spread it out a little bit. Another thing that, now this is something, I don't know if this was a promotion or if it was something that comes with every volume, but I'm just going to point it out because you never get anything extra with an English light novel. I've yet to have any kind of extra thrown in, whereas this had a little Megamin card photo thing. It's just a little bit of flimsy bit of cheap paper, and I believe this was based on the Konosuba movie. Every single volume had this little special promotion card in, and I just thought it was something nice to have included. When we look at the pages, we can see obviously it's written in traditional Japanese style, and yeah, this means that there's a huge amount of pages compared to the English one. The English has got about 160 pages, whereas this has got about 260 pages, an extra 100 pages, just because of the obviously the size is going to make a difference. But I just thought that would be quite surprising. I was expecting it to be more one-to-one in terms of the actual page count itself, especially when you look at them in the both, right? The one with the extra 100 pages, the Japanese one, it's not much thicker than the actual English one, which I thought was quite surprising. It's quite amazing how compact this one actually is. I mean, the papers, the pages themselves are super duper thin. They're like the really thin compared to the more thicker pages used by Yen Press. But even then, it's not by a huge amount. And I was just quite surprised to see that. It was definitely something that I wasn't expecting. I was expecting like this, maybe 20 pages more or something, but no. An extra 100 pages, but not having a huge amount of thickness. Wow, really surprising. So let's look at some other differences between the English and Japanese one. Well, the one thing I do really like about the English version is, well, the spine. Now, we all know that the spine is probably one of the most important parts of the actual release when it comes to the collecting side. So you put that on the shelf, you can tell what that is. Konosuba Volume 1. I mean, personally, I don't really rate this spine. I mean, yeah, we'll know what it is, but at least then we'll know, obviously, Megamin and Darkness is on the front, well, on the spine, and we get a little, like everything else. But this, it feels very plain. Even on the back, like, we can see there's pretty much next to nothing on the Japanese version compared to the English one. The English one is definitely something that is designed to try and capture your attention, even if it's just being placed down. If you just go there, it's like, oh yeah, you can take one look at it. Yeah, that's Konosuba. Yeah, this could be anything. Is it One Piece? Possibly. The price is different as well. Obviously, 600 yen is what, if we see $6, this is $14. Yeah, so a lot of people see that light novels and stuff are overpriced, and yeah, it's over twice the price. I can certainly see where people are coming from that, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of translation and everything that needs to go into this, whereas this you have a little bit less overheads, I would personally say, than you do with this. Obviously, this is obviously going to be less of a niche as well, with anime being more of a bigger thing in Japan compared to in the West, especially when it comes to the fact that in the West they're going to have to compete with the manga as well as the light novel. So yeah, I can understand that being a little bit of an effect too. So one thing I do want to talk about is the slipcover, and this is something that I absolutely love in Japanese releases. One Piece has it, and nearly everything else that I've picked up has this difference, and that is they have slipcovers for your titles. So this entire cover comes off, and well, it's just a dust jacket really, isn't it? Something we don't get in the English release. And then we have what is even more a compact series, and it's also something that I feel is a little bit more discreet.
Oh look, it's Mr. Man. Say hello, Mr. Man. What is that you're reading? Is it one of those strange, weird anime things?
It's Lord of the Rings. Yeah, it's Lord of the Rings. So that is the difference between English and Japanese light novels, at least when it comes to Konosuba. I am interested to see how other titles fare, and you guys, let me know in the comments, would you be interested to see more videos like this? Because I am considering doing a few with One Piece, getting a few different English, Japanese, Italian, Spanish, German, a few different languages, and seeing what the difference is. But even when it comes to light novels, would you be interested in seeing Overlord? Because Overlord is a hardback cover, so I'm interested to see what the differences are between the English and the Japanese versions of Overlord. Let me know in the comments if you'd actually like to see that, and if you haven't already, please remember to like, please remember to consider subscribing, and check out some other videos that will be appearing on the screen right now. See you on the other side. Goodbye.